Haha, cook little cocktail meatballs, cook, 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 and give me a Giants win. Hey guys, my name is Caitlin and welcome back to Cait Straight Up and our Game Day Favorite series that we have going on the channel. Today I have a really delicious recipe for you, cocktail meatballs that are cooked in the crock pot. This recipe has just a few simple ingredients but is absolutely delicious and a favorite anytime I bring it to a family barbecue or for game day. I'm wearing a pink shirt today in honor of all the women who have suffered and fought breast cancer. It is sadly an illness that has touched my family more than once, and I just wanted to show my support here on Cait Straight Up. For this recipe, you'll need 1.5 pounds of chopped meat, 2 cans of chopped pineapple, half a cup of soy sauce, 2 cups of ketchup, 1 cup of maple syrup, some mustard, 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs, a spice mix of granulated onion, garlic, salt, pepper, and parsley, and 1 egg beaten. You're starting this recipe with about 1.5 pounds of a meatloaf mix, which is typically a chopped meat, a pork or a sausage, and a little bit of veal. You're then going to go ahead and add about 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs right over top. Give that a good mix before we start going with our other ingredients. Eventually, you're going to have to touch this and get down and dirty with your hands, but for right now, we can mix with the spoon. Next step, our spice medley. This is a little bit of salt and pepper, parsley, a pinch of garlic, and a little bit of granulated onion. We're just gonna dump that right over top, and again, give that a nice mixture into our meat. Last step here, we're gonna pour our egg into our meatloaf to help bind it all together, and then we're gonna start mixing it all together. We gotta get this all nice and bound and mixed so we can make some nice tiny little cocktail meatballs. So we're all mixed together now, and here's our meatball. No, I'm kidding, that's not our meatball. But we're gonna start to break tiny pieces away from our mixture, and we're gonna make really, really tiny little balls here. Maybe just about that size. See that? Now, the important thing is to try to make them all the same, but I know that's a little bit difficult, but we're gonna try our best here and get everything to be the same amount. After we get all of our meatballs rolled out here, we're gonna go ahead and cook them stovetop in a little bit of olive oil and just brown them up, because eventually we're throwing these in the crock pot and we don't want them to be going in raw. So we're gonna roll them all up, cook them in a little bit of oil, stovetop, and then they'll be ready for the crock pot. So our meatballs are done and our crock pot is warming here on high heat. We're gonna go ahead and add them into the crock pot like that, and then move on with the rest of our ingredients. These ingredients might seem odd, but I'm telling you, when they come all together and sit here in the crock pot, it's absolutely delicious. So trust me on this one. We're gonna go ahead and add our 2 cans of pineapple. I left the juice from the can in this bowl, so juice included. And then about 1 cup of maple syrup right in. I've done it so many times. I know how much to do. Then we're gonna do 2 whole cups of ketchup. This seems gross, but I guess don't look at it, but I'm telling you, you are going to love these cocktail meatballs. It's around Halloween, consider it a scary recipe, but it's good, you'll love it. After that, 1/2 cup of soy sauce, right in. My soy sauce isn't coming out too quickly here. There we go. And last but not least, a tiny, tiny bit of mustard. You don't want the mustard flavor to be overwhelming, so you're just gonna give about maybe a squirt, little circle, think of it that way. You know, just one little whoop right over top. Last step, we give it all a nice big stir. Make sure all our meatballs are covered and that our pineapple is going over each one. And then we're gonna cover this and cook it on high heat for about 4 hours. So you do need to start this early for game day, but just about 4 hours, and wait till you see and smell what comes out of this concoction. And here you go, guys. There is the finished product. And I'm telling you, you are gonna be shocked with how good these taste and how good they smell. I don't even ever like to really tell anybody what's in the recipe because it is just so delicious that you would never guess it's such simple ingredients. A couple of tips, guys, for when you're cooking. If you notice that the meatballs are starting to fall apart or that there's a lot of liquid, go ahead and turn your crock pot down to low and take off the lid. Other tip, if you don't feel like making your meatballs, this recipe can certainly be done with store-bought meatballs. I don't recommend it, of course, but if you're trying to save some time, go ahead and buy some meatballs and just make that delicious sauce. If you have any other questions about this recipe, please make sure to comment below or tweet at me at CaitStraightUp. Please subscribe, guys. I really would love to see you all as subscribers. And other than that, guys, I hope your team wins. Until next time, bye-bye.